use the framework, the 5x5 framework, in order to get people into the event.
Hey everyone, super excited to introduce you to this badass person. I've known her for a really long time, but today I want to introduce you to her as someone who has created something that I'm super proud of, even though I played a really small part in this. But this is Suzy Ashworth. She just created a product which is called Limitless Life Experience, and she made 47,500 pounds, which is almost $50,000 plus. And when she posted those results in the Sold Out Launch group, I was like, oh my God, woman, I want to talk to you. So this time what we're going to do is we're not just going to have her talk about how great SOL is. Instead, we are going to get her to talk about how she did it and how she made it possible, because a course or a system or a coaching can only take you so far. What really matters is how you implement it. And I'm so excited to hear Suzy's story and how she implemented it. So thank you so much, Suzy, for taking the time to talk to me.
Thank you very much for having me. It's a real honor. I was thinking this morning that the first time I did any work with you was when I was launching my first course, and I did my landing page totally based on the instructions you gave in 5K to 5, or 5 days, or 3 days to 5K, or whatever it was. And I was thinking that was the first time. So
it's been such a long time, and we've both come so far, right? I love that. Because I remember you as someone who was such a sane, rational voice in the market that you were in then, right? And I looked at you and I was like, she has got such a great, calm, positive brand. I love that about you. And honestly, the honor is mutual. I love that we're talking about this today, but no one knows you. No, everyone knows you, but my people probably don't know you. So tell us why I'm such a big fan of your work and of you, and what do you do?
Okay, so to give you a little bit of context, the first business, and very much part of my business now, is the Calm Birth School, and that was the landing page that I created using your amazing framework. And because I'm a TEDx speaker and a Hay House author all through the birth world, and because I've done very well in that business, I've moved into coaching and very much helping women master their mindset and really nail their messaging so that they are able to attract an abundance of clients and it feels really good and really easy. And so this is my first program that has been open to people beyond the birth world. And it's all about building a life that you love through being really authentic and honest in how you present yourself in your business. So it's the Limitless Life Experience, which is all about business and living an amazing life.
And tell me a little bit about your launch strategy, because I love that. I love this multi-dimensional implementation of your skills, right? So you have a certain type of skills, you built a business around that, and then you decide to take the same skills but offer it and implement it to a different market. I love that. I think that's a really smart way to kind of keep expanding, not just remain in the same market. So tell me a little bit about how you launched it. So let me just walk me through your launch strategy. What exactly did you do? You got 52 people in a program that is not low end. It is a high-end program for someone. First of all, someone has to have balls of steel to do that, which you obviously do. But tell me a little bit about also your launch. I have been watching your launch from a distance because I was also in the middle of my launch, and I loved how calm and peaceful it was. It wasn't your space. It was very calm, very, some would say very laid back. But still made a shit ton of money. So tell me a little bit about your life.
I have to say, I really appreciate you saying that, because I know that for a lot of people, launching is stressful and it feels like, but actually it has been. The theme for the launch was calm and ease, and that's how it's been.
It showed. It really showed.
So that's really nice you picked up on that. So we actually started with an event, and we launched, I did a day workshop, and it was the first time I'd spoken, sold from the stage, and that was great. Used the framework, the 5x5 framework, in order to get people into the event in terms of brand recognition, credibility, authority, and then the actual ads to sell them in. So that worked really well. We sold 9 courses, and that was my validation, because if people were going to buy from then, I was just like, yeah. So I knew that people wanted it. And then I just went under the radar, and I was just letting my list know that it was available. And if you want to talk to me, then come and talk to me about it. So I then sold another 5 programs, and there was no sales page. No, there was nothing. And so that also felt really good. And the way that I'd structured it was I had a gold level, which was kind of like the standard level, and then there was a VIP level. And before I launched, I'd sold 3 VIPs of the kind of 14. And then I went on to do a challenge, a 5-day challenge. And what's interesting is that so I launched last year, which was a lot smaller. I did the webinar strategy, which again came from stuff that you had taught in terms of how to structure it and how to give loads of value, but not give all of the value. And I used the exact same lessons from the webinar strategy for my challenge. And I did a master your message in 5 days. And it was off the scale amazing. It was the feedback and the activity and the interactions with everyone was so beautiful. And what was also good, so although I haven't launched Stacked in the way that you recommend, kind of doing it in exactly the way that you recommend, however, there have been people from my programs, so many of those joined the 5-day challenge. So everything you teach around social proof and getting the interaction and getting the proof from people in the history, they were coming into the group and they were saying, yes, we've worked with Suzy on this, or I'm in this program, or I'm in that program, and it's been really good. And so for the new people that were coming in, it was real low, well, it wasn't low level, but it was a real nice validation without it being really full on.
Oh, I love that.
So that worked really, really well. So yeah, we did the 5 days, and then on the 5th day it wasn't a webinar, but it was a Facebook Live, and I sold, and yeah, people bought. We kept.
I love how real you are about I sold and people bought.
Yeah.
It's like, I wish it was that easy for everyone else, but I love that. And I think when you have that ease, when you have that comfort in your genius, I think it also passes through. People see that you're not desperate. You are really cool about it, and that lack of desperation, that confidence, I think it really shines through. And as you talk about it, I can hear it in the way you describe it. I love that. So. Did you spend a lot of money on Facebook advertising or trying to get people in, or was it purely, like you said, under the radar?
I spent a lot for me, so it's the most that I'd ever spent. And in total, with the live event and the challenge, it was just under £7,000. Okay, and so that's not just advertising. That's advertising and event and other costs as well, right? With the event and the other costs, it's 10,000.
It's still 5 times return. Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, wow. It's amazing. And actually, when I went through the Facebook ads of the guy that did it for me, we actually on conversion ads, so ads for the actual challenge, we spent £2,300 odd pounds.
Yeah.
The rest was credibility, authority, seduction, and all of that
and
stuff.
That is and you probably created a ton of pixeled audience as well, right? Because when you spend so much money, now you have pixeled audience that you can target, and you have an email list that you can target to over and over again. I love that. Oh my God. Yeah. So not just a 5 times return, but also and how long was the launch period? So from the moment.
Yeah, it was 6 weeks.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. And you did not lose your shit once? Oh my God, that is so amazing. Yeah. I love that. Oh God. Oh wow. Okay. So for someone who is in your shoes, for someone who's just starting out, or someone who already is in a certain market and now they want to take those skills and implement it in a different market to create something like that you did, which I think, by the way, is a brilliant strategy. We should do a session for SOL people where you can talk about this strategy of selling through an event. I think it's a brilliant, brilliant strategy. So what would be your biggest piece of advice for someone who wants to launch, does not want to go crazy, but wants to launch in a calm, peaceful manner like you did? and still make money?
Yeah, so I think the biggest difference between this and other launches that I've done, so it's only my fourth launch, so I'm still a launch novice, but I had two amazing people supporting me on the back end of things. So I had a tech VA and then my regular assistant who were just amazing. So things that would have been really stressful, like on the day that I was on my day 5, they were still making tweaks to the sales page, which if I'd have had to do, I would have been like, oh my God, I'm like, I'm going on live now. Is the sales page going to be ready in an hour? She's like, yeah, it'll be ready. So that kind of stuff was really, really helpful. Also, I think that I wasn't actually focused on the financial side was a real shock to me. I was focused on the number of women that I wanted to get in the program. And I wanted, as well, from a mindset perspective, it was the perfect number of women. So I'd said to myself, probably, from like 8 weeks in, it's going to be 50. 50 would be amazing. 50 would be amazing. I visualized 50 coming in, and it was all around that. And I think that being very intentional with what you want, but then taking the proper action. So I think that what I see often is people saying, oh, I want a massive launch, but then not doing any of the work or having the people to support them in the work to get your name or your face or your program out there. So be intentional and then, get the support that you need. And I had that via you remotely, 2 people who were working with me, and it was amazing.
I love that. I love you wanted 50 people, and that happens to me too. I love that you talked about this, and I wish more people talked about this. And I'm not woo-woo, but I do believe that when you have a number in your head, you consciously try and work towards that number. And sometimes I like to cheat. So sometimes when I'm close to that number, I'm like, no, I just raised the stakes. Now I want 250 people. But the reality is it's good to have a number and then kind of work towards that number. I love that. Last question that I want from you, actually, no, 2 questions. So one question I want to know from you is, what is next for you? Where would we see Suzy in September 2018? What will she be doing?
The Limitless Life experience is just going to get bigger and better. There'll be retreats. There'll be a couple of big Limitless Life launches. So
that's your umbrella, and then you will grow other programs under that umbrella. I love that. I love that, and I think it's a great brand. It is very on brand equity with you. It is very aligned with the way you are. So congratulations. I think that's awesome. I think you found your thing. This is awesome.
I think it's my thing.
It's your thing. Last question. I'm sure you have taken other courses, and I'm not asking you how those courses are, but I just want to know, if you were to tell someone, okay, how is Sold Out Launch different from all the other courses that are out there? What would you say? How is it different?
Okay, so the thing about Sold Out Launch is that I didn't go through every single lesson from start to finish, but the lessons that I did go through were absolutely invaluable. So I dip in and out all of the time. There's so much content in there that if you are just starting out, like seriously, you have got it all in there. And if you're slightly more experienced, like I am, from your 3rd or 4th launch, then the stuff that you're like, you can guarantee that it's in there. And the other thing is that I'm like been a lurker in the group. I'm quite quiet. And then whenever I ask a question, not that I want to make you be on email all the time, but whenever I ask a question, you're there like within 5 minutes answering my question. So that type of support, when you're working with so many people and you're doing crazily extraordinary things, is amazing to get from a course mentor. And I model myself on how you serve your tribe. It's very, very inspiring and inspirational. So you really get that support there.
Thank you so much. Oh my God. Okay. No crying. No crying. We can't do crying. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. You have a way of getting into people's ovaries. Like,
it's my superpower.
It is your superpower. But thank you so much for saying that. I am so honored, and I'm so grateful to be able to play a small part in what you're doing. And I can't wait to you, for you to take this, because it's such a great brand, it's such a great message, and you are the perfect mentor for this kind of experience.
Yeah.
So without further ado, I will just say that I think if anyone was made for delivering the limitless life experience, I think that's you, Suzy. So I'm really, really excited to see where you take this. Thank you so much for talking to me.
Thank you.